guys, and welcome to my next video for Disneyland Escapes Weddings. So today we're going to go into a little more detail about the planning pages. So this will happen after you have booked your date, and they will send this to you and assign you a wedding planner. So pretty much we're just going to go through it. I'm going to explain to you what's in it and what we chose. So on the front, it's going to have your names, it'll have the ceremony date, it'll have your wedding planner's name, your ceremony and reception location, as well as the times that these are going to be happening. So that's your very first page. Your next page, they're just going to talk about how you're going to return the planning pages, reminding you to obtain a marriage license, that if your guests, if you are having an outdoor ceremony, just remind your guests to be prepared for the weather. Now they get into the planning. So they talk about getting ready, and they ask if you want to get ready in your own room or whether you want to use a dressing room for the bride or the groom. This is free of charge, but you are responsible for the setup and cleanup of this room. If you do not clean it up, they will charge you $400 to clean the room. You then have breakfast options where they can deliver you fresh fruit, danishes, bagels, juice, and that ranges between $22 and $28 a person. You then start getting into the fun stuff. You have your floral page. So these are the different floral options. I went with the delicate floral. It's called Forever Delicate Floral. And it was just really light and fluffy, and it had roses. And I did incorporate some purple calla lilies into that to go with my wedding theme. So there's a classic rose, there's hydrangeas, tropical, whimsical garden, plain calla lilies. So you get to choose one of 6 bouquets. And they will also ask you what are your wedding colors so that they can coordinate this. They're going to ask you if you've chosen a photographer or videographer. There is a whole other ball of wax that you have to deal with if you are not using a Disney photographer. There's a contract that the photographer will need to sign to verify that they're not going to be using any photos for their promotion. So they can't use a Disney castle image as advertising. So they will have to sign that, fill it out, and you will get that back to your planner. You then have additions. So additional boutonnieres, flower girl baskets, rose petals, skirted tables for the ceremony to put your guest book. The skirted tables for your programs and gifts, that is free of charge, but any additional floral will cost you, and it's all listed by price. You can use another florist. That is what we did. We used Flower Alley, and I will discuss a review for that later on. But we did go outside Disney Floral because we found the Disney Floral to be too expensive. They're then going to talk and ask about your wedding party guest list. And you will then go into your pre-reception. So pre-reception cocktail hour. So that ranges between $14 to $22 per guest. You can do everything from vegetables, cheese platters, your traditional canapes. So that you can choose there. You then get into the wedding reception, and they're going to ask how you want the table set up. Are you going to need an MP3 or iPod hookup? That is $75 and up. The venue we chose for our reception, there was no option for music. And because it was a smaller wedding, we had absolutely no problem with that. Then it goes into drink options. Do you want a deluxe bar, signature bar? Or are you going to do a hosted soft drink package, meaning each guest will be charged per drink. That is what we did. We paid in advance for 22 beverages, so 2 per guest, and anything that was not drank was refunded to our credit card. They then talk about your floral again and decor for the reception. So do you want certain kind of linens, colored linens, chair covers, chair cushions? They do centerpieces. Those range between 100 to 100 and up per table. And again, they talk about the cleanup fee for your reception location, a $400 charge if you don't clean it up. You then get your option for your menu. You get 2 choices. The main difference I noticed here is you get to really just choose from like lemon mayo chicken and a prime beef short rib. We went with the lemon mayo chicken because our reception was around 12 noon. So we felt that going for a steak that early, it was just going to be too heavy. But the chicken was fantastic. The food was absolutely amazing. It was so good. So you'll choose your food. They have a page if you have any guests with dietary restrictions. We had a guest that had diabetes, so that was very, very helpful for them to know. Children's meals, you can also do added appetizers. With the amount of food we got, if we had ordered appetizers, we wouldn't have been able to move because there was so much food. You can upgrade your meals, and they range between, I believe, $15 and to $25 per person additional. If you want to have, like, there's a shrimp risotto, tiger prawns, Angus beef fillet, so you can go higher up with more kind of fancy foods, but the food we chose was just fine. Then my favorite part, you get to choose your cake. So we went with the silver Mickey heads. We got 2 different flavors, and that, hands down, was the funnest part to pick. This page is all your flavors, and they even have recommended mixes. We went with, for the large tier, we went red velvet with cream cheese frosting, and the top tier, for you Disney fanatics, we did the pineapple Dole Whip. And that was the biggest hit of the wedding. Everyone was like, that cake literally melts on your tongue. It was fantastic. You can do additions for your cake. You can change the designs. You can do a topsy-turvy cake. So you get these different cake options. Those are an increase, and they do charge you extra. They also give you the option to have Mickey and Minnie or Disney characters appear at your wedding. They will also ask you what you are planning for your itinerary. Are you doing a garter toss, a bouquet toss, toasts? And then you talk about your Sleeping Beauty castle photo shoot. Now, the rules have changed for this. We didn't do a castle photo shoot. At the time, they were about 4,500. So we got so many beautiful photos, we didn't need that. The back has preferred vendor list. As I said, we went with Reverend Carolyn. We did go with a different photographer, and I will get into that later. Drink packages, and finally your page to sign off on all of your choices. So that is pretty much it. Those are your planning pages, and I believe they give you 1 month to get those back. So like I said, for our preferred vendors, we went for flowers, we went with Flower Alley. We did Reverend Carolyn for our officiant, and my makeup and hair artist was Lisa Lemming. And my photographer, oh my goodness, her name is like slipping my mind right now. I will definitely look into that and put back what we have, what we used for the photographer, because she was absolutely amazing and her prices were fantastic. I will put that in the comments below what our photographer's name was, because she was amazing. So that is it for your planning pages. That is it for this week's video. I will be back with one more Disney wedding video for next week, and that will be discussing how everything went on the day of and how Disney went above and beyond to make it extra special. Thank you so much. See you next week.